Don't bring it here, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Are
we on episode 5? Episode 5?
4.
6? 4? No.
We can say
4?
5 if you want.
No.
I'll skip a 4.
Isn't it?
I only got 3 on the site.
Oh,
That's a good intro.
Math
I think it's episode 4. We've done. Yeah. Yeah. What?
You're 100% right. It has been 3.
What could fool you is if you go to our YouTube page, for some reason, episode 1's on there twice. I don't know how I did that, but I left it.
That's what got me.
And they have different titles.
I was fooled by the man. They do.
Different titles.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping we get double hit on that.
Because I'm a dope and don't do due diligence before going live. Yeah. Because that's how
and what's hilarious, it's when we had our old name. So the one with 2 names.
It actually was already somebody else's name. But you know what? That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do? And the fascinating world of AI.
When I found out Joni Mitchell had that podcast, I was like, maybe that's just not our demographic.
Probably could have took her to court, let's be honest. We probably could have won that.
Yeah, she hasn't had any more fighting her.
Exactly. Exactly.
She done. She done well.
Keep on.
I'll take
Joni Mitchell, thumbs down. OpenAI, thumbs up.
You had your time.
Hot take of the week. There's your YouTube short right there. What's trending?
Joni Mitchell's had a AI podcast this whole time.
Yeah, she actually backed DeepSeek the whole time. So, episode 4. We earned it.
As I named it here, New Hope. New Hope. I mean, that is the episode 4 in Star Trek.
Is that a Star Trek thing?
Wars.
Oh, I knew. Oh, dude, I was going to do it ironically. You did it real. I love it. Yes.
I did do it real. That's insane.
Oh
my God.
We got a lot to talk about.
By the way, I like to remind my son, it's just episode 1. It was only New Hope because of the other 3 episodes. But, whatever. We all lived a different life.
This is true.
Anyway.
Different time.
Yeah.
Different time, different era, different generation, as it turns out. But we got a lot to cover, man. Here's the thing about doing AI topics, and we don't do weekly takes. You get a lot of collateral you can cover between episodes, right?
That's the thing. Because every week I have some new stuff we can cover, and then we don't cover it, and now we have to combine it all.
Life happens, So where do we start? I think we start with a lot of hot IPOs coming out here recently, and even more pending IPOs dropping, like valuations of AI companies. And again, I am very fact checkable. I love being fact checked in real time. I fact check myself. So if you look at the scale of some AI companies, you know what? I could just call the name is $852 billion valuation. Mm-hmm. Really a company that nobody voted for. Is it company or infrastructure at this point? Like, when you look at something like a product,
nobody voted for it. Do we vote on companies now?
I'm just saying, a company that it's a product that would just became a brand, right? So maybe that's what we focus on. Right? So we talked about this earlier offline. Of it becomes almost a cult of personality sort of thing, where your company or product name becomes something, right? So hey, if I needed a bandage, you would probably say, "Oh man, I cut myself. Let me go get a Curate Band-Aid." No, you'd say a Band-Aid. Right?
Yeah.
Or regionally, won't get into the regional like Coke, pop, soda thing, but like you would probably say like Coke or a Pepsi, right? So when your brand gets anonymized with things,
not a brand, right? So Coke's used a brand. No one ever orders a Pepsi. Well,
that's like a regional thing. Of like northern people, southern people, west. Dude, I love Pepsi. So that do people where I live, Pepsi? That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Is it really? Is Pepsi big out there? Okay.
No, it's not. I'm in Coke country, baby. I'm fighting the good fight down here for my northern brothers. I didn't know the Mason-Dixon line dictated who drinks soda, but that's the beauty of this podcast. But it's one of those cultural things, right? So you remember like when search engines started becoming a thing? Did you? Southern California?
Southern California, baby, still South.
Is it? That might be the hottest take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, nobody likes when they say that, by the way. I grew up in the South. Wait, SoCal? I'm just saying.
Oh.
Longitude, latitude.
I know a room where you'd make a lot of enemies very fast by saying that. That is,
there's a lot of rooms.
Chef's kiss. That is chef's kiss. I love that.
Anyway.
But you think of those like branding sort of things, right? Like all the service providers used to laugh like, like when you were going to look up something up. hey, I'm going to go Yahoo this thing, or I'm
Yeah,
going to go
yeah.
Ask Jeeves this. Like, no, everyone says, hey,
I
I
think
Googled that and I did this,
I
right?
think Ask Jeeves happened for a bit, and maybe it's just my age. I remember like Ask Jeeves, but it never caught
How
on.
much of it
Yeah,
was the
was it?
butler? How much of
Yeah.
it was the branding of the butler versus the actual service? Because it wasn't great.
Oh yeah, it was the butler. Like
It
he
was the
had a
butler
face,
100%. That's
and
good branding,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. But
But
yeah, you
for
Google
the
everything,
last,
right? I ate Yahoo a
yeah,
thing, and I think we talked about this offline. I worked for a company that, we'll just say it was in media, who made a partnership with Yahoo way too late in the aughts, and I thought,
after
okay,
Y2K.
yeah, like everybody's like, let's Google it. Hey, we'll make a partnership with Yahoo. Like, what are we doing here? Just signal to everybody you're done. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and
You're trying to get ads on the
YMail.
fantasy
Hey, get
baseball.
yourself a YMail account. I'm like, I don't think I will. So anyway, yeah, yeah. Google caught on. Was it the best? I don't know, but that
It's
definitely is the
withstood the
biggest.
sands of time. So cut
Yeah,
that to the last 2 years as,
yeah,
chat based AI has become a phenomena in our culture globally. You say, hey, I chat GPT this, right? That's a status of you have
yeah,
impact on culture at some point. Does
yeah,
that mean, now, and all those other things we mentioned were established companies, established brands? Does that mean
yep.
all of a sudden I have a company or am I just a product? 'Cause, like, look at the other companies that are in the AI space. What else does
Or am I
OpenAI
a
do?
process or a verb? Really, just that's the verb. But yeah,
Right. Are you going to open AI it? No. Like, what else? What other than ChatGPT? Again, maybe inform my ignorance here, but if I look at
plot it.
SpaceX, I mean, they have Starlink, they have other sources of revenue. They have, from an investment perspective, makes a lot of sense to invest in something like that.
Do they have other
Anthropic
source of
has
revenue, or is it just SpaceX? Anyway, we can leave that there.
Starlink. Oh, I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
sizzle, and there's who pays the
Is it
bills.
just Starlink for SpaceX? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, don't talk about the funny money of like shuffling around like Twitter services stuff too, right? We don't going to talk about that. We'll just keep all that. We'll
Which
save
just
that for
wrapped up
another
in their
show.
AI. So it's AI Twitter.
Right.
Twitter's AI. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Totally different. We're not financial advisors. Please do not take financial advice from us.
That is correct.
Yeah.
However, stay tuned for a hot take later on. But like these $1 billion valuations, like, is this like evidence of? And a lot of people say there's an AI bubble. The bubble is apparent. The bubble is going to burst, et cetera, et cetera. Like the sky is falling. Is this evidence of a bubble, or is this just an evidence of phenomena and aspirations versus an actual company? Because if you look at old school financiers, old school investment folks, they have a very different take on this. And maybe that's a sign
They
of the
do.
generational change. I don't know.
They do.
But
I was just
what are your
watching one of
thoughts
those
on it?
yesterday. No, they do. They do have a different take, right? It's all going to blow up. Stop investing in this. AI is going to suck all the money. But I think where you're going down is OpenAI, ChatGPT, started as an open AI company, right? And now here we are with this large valuation. Is it a company?
That was never going
Like
to be for
that
profit, was under that
doesn't make
pretense.
sense. Yeah. So is
Yeah.
it a tool? Is it a paradigm shift with what we have now? Is it just, I don't know if it's the industrial revolution, but whatever internet did to us, right? Like, well, internet commercially, because internet's been around since
Yeah.
ARPANET back in the day, but um, commercial internet. Heck, I can even remember when GPS was flipped on one day by Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of changes the world, but is it mean that it's the first one to do it, or the one that's maybe synonymous? And I think is where you're getting at. Synonymous with the
Yeah.
name or the action. Is that the company that should be worth something? Are they trading in that, or is there really value behind it? And you're right. In the older, I watched. I'm going to forget the name of the guy. We just talked about this. We didn't show note it, but I didn't
This
think
is what we
about
do.
this before. Um, Billionaire gave away most of his money. So rich, he's already given away 95% of it. Like, I'm not going to invest in anything. You shouldn't invest in anything. Then you should all go foreign stocks, which is really easy to say once you've made your billion. Hey, you shouldn't do any of this. But that's just an old guard way, right? Because they're thinking those
Yeah.
traditional brick and mortar, build a company has value, and I trade on it. And I look at the futures, but this is a technology future. But who are the ones that are going
Right.
to hold the keys? Who are going to make the money? That's a good point. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, 100%.
I
So, and
and
again,
I
my
think about this
squirrel
every day,
brain.
by the way, because I'm in it. But I'm also like want to use it. But I'm also like, how is it changing our lives? And is it going to suck all my money or change? Whatever. Like I have to measure all that every day, every day.
So it sounds like you're morally conflicted, and I am an open and honest hypocrite across every single aspect of this. But you did mention GPS and like, also, and can I just take a moment? Shout out to TomTom. If you had a TomTom back in the day,
Oh
the coolest
yeah,
GPS. Like,
Tom.
how's that like a relic of the past now, right? But it was everyone
Yeah,
had one. It's now a relic of the
yeah.
past. Is that where we're going? Oh, guys, you remember when we
Mm.
used to do AI on our phones? You guys remember that? Like, is that gonna be a conversation that our children and grandchildren have? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I just looked at Dispatch today with Cowork, and Cowork Dispatch is
Mhm.
like, you can use your phone to connect to your home PC. Like, is that gonna be like, is that the future, or is it my home PC is my data center? I don't know, but
I mean,
you're right.
brother, don't you don't want to go down the dark hole of cloud projects. I have a tailwind with secure VPN connections back to the mother source, and
So you're right. So
it's
you're
it's
building your
it's
own
a
DCs. Okay,
I
my
am,
compute,
and it
my
just again,
compute,
this
my
is
grid.
it
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, man, we're fighting the good
yeah,
fight. We're fighting offline.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
You're
I'm at
right.
the point
Maybe
now
it'll run to
where
the
I
past. Nope.
it
Go
could
ahead.
be, man, it could
Yeah.
be. I mean, I got so many freaking projects going on now. I need a project manager for my projects, so I have an app that I'm writing that's going to manage my projects for me. And if you're a fan of project management, God bless you. But it's going to be called "Could this meeting have been an email?" As we all know, some people in project management love to just have meetings for the sake of having meetings. And if you know, you know. That's one of those jokes. But that being said, is it a bubble? Is it a bust? I still am at the time will tell. I think there's a lot of money being moved around, and there's a fine line between B2B and keeping the music playing and the folks dancing and fat and happy
So
versus B2B transactions.
that's an interesting point. We haven't actually talked about this yet, for us, but I tend to think the B2B. Maybe that's why I'm an Anthropic fan.
Mhm.
Venues are the ones that'll be the future, right? Let's think we're coming off this social media, this whatever economy where it was all about consumer and bringing the
Mhm.
consumer in. But at the end of the day, it was really about information, selling you ads. So it really was B2B
Right.
behind the scenes. So I think any tool that isn't business to business, B2B, for those who need me to define that, um, aren't going to be, in my opinion, aren't going to be the big money makers, aren't going to be the big ones that grow value for the future.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the wrong take to have. But if you started as OpenAI and now your tool is OpenAI and you're maybe shifting, that could be a little bit behind the gears, like you're a little behind it. But starting out with a tool that is made for business. Now, that said, there's a lot of argument that businesses should get really smart about making their own LLMs and bringing this in house to stop spending all the money and be on that hamster wheel or be in that lock in for those businesses. But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they're not making great products.
It,
And
it's
you can
it's
even look for evidence
forcing.
for the ones that are opening it up
Mhm.
to other connectors so that they can, keep you on their platform, but let you freedom of where you run your AI. So
No, I 100% agree. And then the stuff that's impacting our industry right now with Ramageddon that's going on right now, it's one of those factors that's we have to wait in is folks that haven't gone all in on AI immediately since day one, folks that have a larger data estate, folks have had to kind of slow down a little bit. They've seen the peaks and valleys and gotten the multi-million dollar bills from OpenAI, et cetera, of tokenization. And there's this fascinating new metric that I think is fantastic that every CFO is going to be talking about in the near future, which is, instead of replacing humans or replacing workers, you're replacing tasks or modifying, enhancing tasks of how many tokens it costs per task or tokens per task. And this is going into whole tokenomics sort of thing. But I think this is going to be a very interesting thing. If we brought this offline versus just letting it run within choose LLM of choice through provider, what is the cost model there? It's almost like we're going back to the whole public cloud, private cloud thing all over again, just with a different race. It's going light years
Mm.
faster
Yeah,
than that
where am I
whole.
running this? Where's the compute? Who owns the infrastructure underneath? Yeah. How am
Exactly.
I paying for the
Exactly.
infrastructure underneath? Be better. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's
interesting.
it's
Is
kind
this like a
it's
new KPI? Like
yeah.
this much work goes in. What did it cost to get that work out? And does it
Yeah.
make sense? I didn't even think about this. Is it not even necessarily which LLM do I use? Where do I run it? But maybe
Mhm.
what does a human do? What does a AI do? Is there a
And
cost
how much
benefit model
complexity? So
there?
right, so yeah, so this comes into like task analysis versus what's enhancing the
Yeah.
business process, right? So if I have a certain task that I just don't like doing that is mundane, but it's very complex for an AI to do because it requires human intervention and it costs thousands in tokens if I keep doing it every
Yeah.
single day, but it saves me 5 minutes. Is that really valuable to the business? Probably not. Maybe just suck it up and
Yeah. Yeah.
in the words of Bill
Or
Belichick, do
maybe
your
look
damn
at
job, right?
the task and see where you can optimize it, right? Like we do in the past. Like, wow,
Right.
if we move these 2 steps, I'd be better.
Right. Doesn't mean
Or where does AI
go into
slip in?
startup mode and launch an app because you don't
Yeah.
like, doing a certain task. I'm very sorry. I'm just very sorry. Which is why my product management app or project management app, excuse me, is never going to be run in my work environment because it's just there's no place for it. It doesn't make any
No,
sense.
no, no, no.
It's a
You can't
stupid thing I
hire a
like to do.
project
It
manager,
makes
so
me
you're going to
chuckle.
hire an AI. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. What could go
Yeah.
wrong?
It'll go good on meetings too
Everything.
when
That's
you
right.
talk about it.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But you're
Everything.
gonna have
Other than that.
great stories from it though. You know what my project management ad did today?
Exactly. But I think this leads into a bigger conversation of market volatility, but also the state of massive investments made in between companies for different services, right? So one of the interesting facts that I just found out about recently, it's just been a very open thing, that you know Google pays Apple roughly $20 billion annually to remain the
Is that
default search
right?
engine.
Is that
20
right?
with a
20
B,
million.
with a B
I
dollars
heard about Apple and the Gemini and replacing Siri, but you're saying it's paying to
every
be
year
on that platform.
to
So
be the
Apple's
default search
recognized.
engine. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Apple's like, I'm the platform. I
So
have
when you so when you
these
hear
many. Yeah.
that Apple is paying Google $1 billion to get
Mhm.
the empowerment of Gemini by way through Siri,
Yeah.
doesn't really sound that impactful in the larger scheme of things,
Okay, so that's the
right?
part I missed. I knew that part. I was like, oh wow, they're going to use
Yeah,
Siri. They're like, hey, we're not
yeah,
going to build the AI. You already built it. We're going to use yours. But they've
yeah.
already been promised 40.
It's like
Wow.
I pay I'll use an arbitrary number. I pay $50,000 in taxes every year to this one thing, and guess what? You're getting a $20 tax rebate, my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty sweet, huh? That's
If you're
local
myopic
politics,
and you
right?
focus on the one thing, you're like, I'm
Right, like
ahead. Sounds like a
crushing,
gambler.
right? Gains,
But
bro.
I was ahead.
Right.
I'm even. Wow. Okay, so that's interesting for Google Gemini. So we haven't even really talked about that. We talked about OpenAI. I mean, we gotta think. I don't know. Google's always perplexed me in there. We're a profit business, and I understand they build it on search, they build it on knowing the things, they build on
Mhm.
selling your data, right? We've been commodities most our lives. I get it.
Yep.
And Google's had me back even as far as when I had to get invited to Gmail, right? I've been in their system that long. And I got to invite people. In fact, I got a story about my now wife where I try to impress her. I'm like, hey, you want a Gmail address? Like, I don't know that landed it, but it helped.
Boom.
I'm in the know. Anyway,
Know a
but
guy.
turns out now they're just spying on both of us. But
Right? Right.
I've never really thought about where they want to put their AI. I always realized they or thought they wanted to do it for their own. Maybe it'll benefit theirs.
Mhm.
They have a lot of PhDs on staff. They do. Heck, they made the Kubernetes standard, right? Like this is what they do, right? They build technology. Somebody makes a lot of money in advertising, and then they're able to do things. But are they trying to build an AI that's a B2B? Because it sounds very B2B to me. Now, are
I
they on
think
the
it's gonna
losing part of that
empower their
deal? I
B2B
don't know.
business. Well, what's funny, what is the
Okay.
number one competitor in handheld devices to the iPhone?
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
the number
Android.
one part.
It's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
So
What
are
are we
they
doing?
admitting defeat? They're like, this thing's out. Apple knows how to do hardware. Because let's be real. Actually, they just changed over. It's a hardware guy, right? It's a hardware guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cooks out. It's the hardware guy.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna forget his name too, but I know he's
That's
the
fine.
hardware
We
guy.
don't have we
Uh,
deal in mostly facts and a lot
good
of
double.
passion.
Well, it's fact. He's from the hardware division.
Yeah, you know what? This is what post edit's for.
He has a name. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna pretend like I know it. Um, that's interesting. So are they admitting that Android now there's still an Android market and God bless you people out there that are like I hate Apple. I'm going to have my boxy phone and my square watches. But this
Yeah.
market, I get it. But
I
are
can
they
play Game
admitting
Boy games
defeat?
on it. Okay, dude, get out of here.
Yeah.
Just beat you up. Or stuff you
Just
in a locker.
tangentially
Get
back
out of
when I
here.
was in IT and I moved up the ranks and I was the supervisor and the guy that worked for me. It was actually pretty funny. This is before podcast. Now I'm doing podcasts, and I was like, we should do a
Right.
podcast where we argue Mac versus PC. And I was going to take the Mac position because we would just do this all day for our own
Yeah.
entertainment. But he had an Android. I always had two phones because I was in IT.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
had my Apple phone ever since the AT&T one, GSM phone, and
Yeah.
always had an Android of some sort. Usually because the publisher or somebody had it for. I just had that too.
Right.
And he was like, I love the Android because I can go home and I can jailbreak it and I can hack it. And I was like, dude, we do this all day. There's no way I want to go home and play my phone. I just want the thing to work.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you this take. This is probably not a popular thing to say, but Leo Laporte on This Week in Tech, it wasn't him, but the guy that was with him that said, it's like Mussolini's Italy. It's locked down, but at least the trains run on time. And I always love that analogy because it showed the dire
it could be
part of
utopia
it, like,
if you want it to be,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If that's the most important thing to you, then
I mean,
God
it's
bless
locked
you,
down,
man.
and maybe we don't agree with the dictator like
Yeah, I don't need to
device
be
of it. But
William
anyway,
Wallace fighting the free flight for my apps. I really don't. I
not on
just
my phone. I'll do it
no.
the rest of my life. I'm doing that anyway.
I
All right,
don't
that
want
was
to
a
have
long
the
diatribe
support
to go there.
tickets open.
Yeah.
I troubleshoot enough of my family's hardware problems.
That said,
No,
I work for a
that's
guy that loves Android, right? He's,
yeah.
yeah.
Bless his little heart.
But bringing it back though, is that Google or Alphabet or whatever understanding that they've lost the hardware market, and this is a way to be into it, be
See,
relevant, or is it a way to just cover all the bases, or
I
are
don't
we
think they've
just
lost the
circulating
hardware.
money?
Globally, they're still the minority. They're still the vast minority. And Apple, like Apple, is still the vast
Okay,
minority in the
so
hardware market. So I
globally
don't think they
they still have
care.
that. Okay,
I was like,
okay,
maybe I'll just get them from the, taking a page of the Chinese years, go the old 1,000-year plan, right? We'll just wait them out.
yeah,
We'll get their LLMs,
okay,
power their LLMs, and you just kind of bleed them dry. I don't know, man. Again, this is why I'm here talking on a
yeah.
podcast and not running things in
Well, it's an
Silicon Valley.
interesting thing. Are they
It
just
is.
feeding each
It is.
other in Silicon Valley? Money's going back and forth, and it keeps the machine running, right?
This weird like
And
triangle trade of like Nvidia to Oracle to OpenAI to Oracle to Nvidia.
I
Of like,
mean,
oh, it's just
what's an
funny money.
economy, right?
Somebody bought
Other
Park
than
Place and passed go for $200. It's all just nonsense. But
and then when you go to hit my you hit the
yeah.
B&O Railroad, I get the money
Go,
back. Yeah, but that's an economy, right? Moving the money around. So
Is
okay,
it though? Is it? I don't know. It is an economy, that's for sure. But is
yeah,
anything really gained from it? I don't know, other than blessing stake shareholders, which that's the job of the CEO, is do what you got to do. But speaking of those folks, and kind of spinning to this is a hot topic, especially in my own backyard. I'm like a little fired up. I got just enough bang in me, Zane, that I might get a little fired up. This episode brought to you by
bang
Bang,
bang.
American Berry. This is our
We
4th of
gotta
July episode. We're both wearing
yeah,
black, like no
woo,
red, white, or blue in any of us, but that's why the can's here. Pew, pew, pew,
yeah,
pew.
yeah, yeah. We have
AI
to
data
just kind of
centers.
like tell everyone here, like, so we're in different time zones, Greg and I, and this one may have gone to the end of my day, which means Greg's got to stay up late. So bang bang.
Yeah, we bang bang, mother truckers. That's right. Yeah, I'm not in Budapest, right? I'm on the East Coast, and Zane's just on the wrong side of the road. You could
It's
tell,
3 hours.
SoCal guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get it. Like we get it, dude. We get it.
I live in SoCal now.
No,
Just claim it.
and that's why I respect you as a human.
Yeah.
But AI data centers. Because you guys can't build anymore because you got no left on the grid.
Yeah.
AI data centers. It's very hot
we
topic.
got land. There's nothing on the grid. That's true.
Exactly. But it's become a very hot topic. So ever since the announcement of Stargate and the rush to the billions and now $1 trillion+ that's being fed into these AI data centers, not all the math is adding up and the progress kind of is adding up. Obviously, Stargate, the big investment down in Texas with OpenAI. It's like now, I believe it's now the largest data center in the U.S. as far as a single unit goes. Again, still in product.
There's that proposed one in Salt or Utah, right? That would be maybe, I don't know if it'd be bigger. It seemed bigger, but it's not.
Is this like they're doing the thing that Walmart used to do where they'd open another store that was like 1 square foot larger? It's like, it's the largest Walmart on the planet. And they would just like do 1 square foot more just to like one up each other like a bunch of pedantic children.
I do love that, dude.
It's so silly.
I'm a big
It's so
baseball
silly.
fan, and like the Padres just sold, which kind of scared because I'm a Padre fan, and it's like it's
Mhm.
the biggest deal ever in MLB. It's like, yeah, every time there's a sale, it's going to be the largest because the years move forward. Like it's the dumbest thing.
'Cause that's how
Yeah,
time works.
because that's how time
Um,
works.
but AI dinosaurs. So so personally, I have experienced this. There are some being proposed, some already been approved in a very stealthy way to basically do nothing but not provide more jobs to the economy and kind of eat up
Mhm.
our natural resources and push up my power bill in a lot of cases. Now, the offset is, well, what about the stimulus to the economy? I'm like, well, we're giving you a bunch of tax breaks, and as a citizen, don't love it. Right. As a technologist that loves the advancements of AI and loves the advancements of technology, you understand these things are required. However, can we not pay our fair share if you guys are just handing off
Cool.
$20 billion off the hip to just to be the default search engine? Could you
That's the
not
thing
pay
is
your
like
fair share?
they're
I
enticed to
don't want to
come to
go
an
too
area.
like political
Yeah,
here, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
you know, a lot of times that doesn't get put up for a vote. It's just now there's
No.
a data center coming and oh, good luck. God bless you.
Well, and I heard, I actually, when my son had told me this, there are because of the way they can vote in a region or in a county,
Hmm. Hmm.
there's been judgment to say based on hectares. Well, they're going to go with hectares. I like that of
Oh,
land
very
that I
good.
own. I have more voting power than say you do if you own a house because I have more
Right.
acres. I have more say under what we can do in these things. And so now I can be a foreign entity, not foreign entity, but like an out of state entity or an entity that comes and buys in the state represented there. I don't know, maybe I got a law firm that it got me, and I
Hmm.
can have more of a say of what we do with this land and then thus suck the resources out. So,
It's funny how
so
that
you're right.
works,
Does
right?
it boom the economy from an AI perspective? Does it boom it from a data center perspective? But it takes from the region that it's in. That's easy for me to say because they're not building a data center here because there's too many
Yep.
trees. So I'm in Seattle now. We'll just be clear,
Right.
not in SoCal, where we do have water. So this might be a good place, but
You have
we
this
also
thing
have
called
fault
the
lines.
ocean too. Yeah.
We have the ocean. We have yeah, and rain.
But we're
And
gonna put a data center in that too. We're gonna put a few out there too. So you're not safe, by the way. You're getting them in the ocean too. I know
oh, we're
your
getting
friends
the
at
ocean.
Microsoft helping
Okay,
you out there. Yeah. Taking a dip.
they sink them like in like Ireland or something like that. I've never seen one off the coast here,
That you
but
know
that's
of.
actually wacky too. We can talk in well, yeah, that I know if you're right. I don't know. It's too hard to get out there. So yeah, so what's the trade-off? What's the local economy? What's the impact of the local sucking up the grid, the water that it takes? I'm hearing things about laws that are being passed that you can't put data centers in that are liquid cooled, like they have to be cooled in a different way. So it's like
Right.
legislation or laws trying to catch up with the growth of progress. Like
Hmm.
that's insane, but it's like where do we cap it?
I have no,
And
and
you're a little
I'll get to the
closer to data
counterpoint.
centers than I, right? So I think you have a better opinion of
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
so I am not. I'm a couple hours away. So I'm in Central Virginia. I'm not in Data Center Alley where they've
Yeah.
literally maxed out the grid. They're butt to gut in data centers. It's like
Yeah.
basically, I
All
think
the
it's like
tilt
90%.
ups.
I think it's
Yeah.
like 90% of the internet traffic on the planet goes through Northern Virginia. I believe that's a stat. Again, fact check me.
Wow.
Put the little thing down
Okay.
here. This is what we live for, right? Um, but they're now starting to come south. They're going to rural areas. There's neo cloud providers, hyperscalers. They're kind of eating up everything they can here. And again, you and I have worked in data centers off and on throughout our careers for many, many years. Now, even with like I look at co-hosting or co-hosting, co-location providers, etc., that say, hey, I'm
Co-location.
hosting other folks' facilities. You
We're
may have
co-hosting.
10, 15 folks working there, maybe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There was always the one guy that
Ponytail.
had the fanny pack that had all the
Yeah.
IPMIs and could like,
Yeah.
tell you exactly what the rack
Yeah.
temperature was of
Your
rack
box goes
47F.
here.
Zane, you are on mute, or I have lost you.
You've lost me. That don't make sense. Hello? All right.
And-
Mute.
oh, now I got you.
Okay. That's weird. All right.
That was weird.
So,
Just randomly cut out.
and cut back in.
I forgot who I was talking about. So in 3, 2, 1.
We all know the guy at
Um,
the data center.
yeah. So we've worked in data centers throughout our career, right? 20,
Yep.
20 plus years being in and out of data centers, various scales, co-location providers, like think of the largest ones, right? The Digital Realty, the all the guys that are out there, right? How many folks are out there? Maybe 5 to 10 that are actually working. The one guy that has the fanny pack and the ponytail, and you could always get into a
Yeah.
data center at 3 in the morning because you're friends with that guy. Like he's the one you hit his
Yeah.
beeper. I'm like,
He
oh my
tells you
goodness.
your box goes right here. That guy, and your box goes
Right.
right
Yeah, he's
here.
got the fish
Yeah.
t-shirt, the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
But it is not going to be hundreds of jobs or thousands of jobs. It's going to be a
No.
little boom from
No.
contractors that are coming from out of state. They're not hiring local folks. They have specialized folks with
Yeah.
specialized skills
Yeah.
to build these
Yeah.
data centers.
It's
Tell me how
unlikely
I
you know how to
know.
build a data
They're
center.
building a Lego
Yeah.
factory right over there. Love Legos. Love the Lego Corporation. Love to be a brand sponsor. But they brought in a lot of very specialized folks to build the first manufacturing facility
Sure.
in the United
Sure.
States. There was a few local jobs. But they're going to be gone in March of next year, March of 2027. Again, we're recording this of June 2026. That is not a big boom. There's never going to be a recuperation. The amount of tax breaks is going to happen here, right? So it's just not a sustainable model.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors of the sizzle, and I think what they're actually doing is actually harming the brand of what AI could be and branding it through this AI data centers versus calling it what it actually is it's land grabs, man. It's land grabs. And
Yeah.
and utilizing resources where, hey, I can come in at a lower rate. I could come in and not have to pay taxes for 10 years or have a reduced tax rate for X amount of years. I could get all the local resources I want. In some cases, now it's going to be different. What I love is eventually that these guys are going to have to pay their own way in like Texas. Like the fact that I'm going to possibly see a nuclear reactor in Texas data centers just blows my mind, like the capital of oil of the world. But I'll give the
That's a good
counterpoint
point.
because we did a
Yeah, they
little
do a lot
like
of wind down there too, counter to what people believe. But yeah.
yeah, man, a lot of tumbleweeds and stuff. Wait, that was unnecessary. Why did I do that? I don't know. I have a lot of great friends in Texas. None of them talk like that. But I did see an interesting turn of events in Nevada that Google actually has a zero carbon footprint data center, actual, not buying like carbon credits and doing the funny math.
Okay. Okay.
They're using geothermals of actually using electrically powered and cooling and using geothermal technology to actually pull power from the earth. So they're going like 8,000 feet down. It's a fascinating video. We'll put it in the link in the description, but there
Okay.
are capabilities to do it out there. Is that sustainable to do across 500 data centers? I hope not.
No.
Probably not.
No. No.
But I think it's going to be more of a con than a pro to the consumer versus the industry. And I think this is causing a lot of ill will and ill likeness towards AI. And I don't, my son does not like AI. I think that the
Yeah.
generation after us
Same.
is not a huge fan of it
Same. Yeah.
because of, not availability of jobs, threat of economic pressure, et cetera. And I think the assumption is that they were going to embrace it. So I don't know, man. I think there's a lot more
That
pros.
that part does get me because I have the same. Right. My kids are like AI. This takes like my daughter's artistically bad. Like she's like it steals this, it steals that. Now that
Mhm.
said, I've gotten them to kind of understand where they can use it in, say, their studies, right, in college and math and things.
Sure.
Like, hey, you could really use it to walk you through a lesson. So they're seeing some of the value of it, but I think you're right. I'm like, oh wait, does the future care about AI? We're putting all this valuation on it, and it's helping us right now. Now, if it gets
Yeah.
built into everything, that's kind of what I see is like, hey, I make a co-work. That's how I address my applications. Our application, like we're going through one at our work, right, where we're not
Mhm.
privy to it yet, but we're one of our main CRM is going to have AI built into it to help us with tasks. Maybe that's how it's going to happen because it's going to be max. But yeah, as I see it right now, the youth isn't really embracing it.
Yeah.
It's our gen. Yeah. So
And
that's interesting.
and it's not just the folks in the US either, right? I think not everyone is not all in on AI. I think the EU also has a different stance, but not from a data center perspective, right? But more along the lines of governance and protecting people's data and
Yeah.
protecting people's privacy, right? Which they've been great at. The EU
As
has
they
always
tend
been
to
great
do.
about that. Right.
Yeah,
And they've
I
always
tend to
been great
do.
about
Yeah.
that. Protecting the citizens. And you know what? Maybe that's what we should be doing anyways is protecting the citizen from ourselves in a lot of cases. Um, but is this one of those things where the overregulation, again, I'm using air quotes because the term I heard, used a lot recently, the overregulation of the EU holding back progress, or is this actually the pragmatic approach that is needed for like a sense of
To
rationale
slow it
of,
down.
hey, what are we actually doing this for? Where is the moral ethical line of innovation, but at what cost? Or, being able to be on the bleeding edge, but at what cost? And there's a human element. And I think it's one of the things why I identify deeply with Anthropic's philosophy of the human element of interacting with
Yeah.
technology versus, which we talked about in our first episode, versus technology for the sake of technology. Right. But what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that, man, with the
Yeah.
EU
Yeah. Yeah.
stance
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
data privacy protection?
Matching. No, I think technology moves at such a rapid pace now that it is okay to kind of slow it down to be like, how does it impact and how do we work it into our lives? Because I do believe
Mm-hmm.
on that. So,
Yep.
like, as you could argue before, like, too much bureaucracy, and there's like a lot of arguments in our
Mm-hmm.
country, like building and innovation just doesn't happen because of bureaucracy. But this is a whole
Yep.
different level. So I'm not against it. I'm not against at least looking at it and understanding it. And they're all sovereign countries, and they should have a say in how data like moves outside of their environment and where it lives. Not to mention, if we just let it go at the speed of progress or this progress we're on, what is it, like 4 or 5 people that get to dictate like how AI is going to be used in the world? I mean, and then they're concentrated here in the United States, so I get it. I do
Yeah.
get it. So I'm not against it. I even don't think the GDPR stuff before that, right, about having data sitting
Mm-hmm.
outside boundaries was a bad thing. I think
I don't
it's
either.
very doable. We can match it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect progress, to be honest with you.
Doesn't.
I mean, and we could argue this, but and I don't mean to change topics, but like our own government, your and mine, sitting here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
has stopped the progress of a specific LM more than once now, right? The same one, kind of back
Yeah.
and forth. So,
Yeah.
like, even we're doing it because they're like, oh, now it affects me. Now I'm worried about it. So, having that slow down for human, like, how does AI or how does technology affect human progress is something that we should take a look at. Otherwise, it will run away and become Skynet.
So full transparency, right? So when Clippy becomes a T800, right? This is what we're
Yeah.
worried about. We've talked about this over
Yeah.
several episodes. But the,
Yeah.
the EU approach, the pragmatic approach, again, is looking at it from the human perspective out. We existed well before this. We can protect our dignities, respect, so on and so. I
Yeah.
100% all that. And the thing with GPDR, I respect that as well, and I believe it. That being said, why Mythos was banned was not out of a moral obligation. It was out of, we turned Skynet loose, and oh my God, it
Yeah.
came in with a flamethrower because our most
Yeah.
classified applications were not just saying, hey, you
Well,
have vulnerabilities. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to exploit them too. How do you feel about
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Whoa, you
Well,
can't
but
put the
isn't
genie
that
back
the
in the bottle.
reason you do the other thing, like to slow it down, because that does happen? And what are you going to do? So,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the pragmatic approach you have to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
And now, again, we were recording this, last week of June. So, being very parenthetical, we'll talk about the AI bills and leadership things that have gone out there. But Mythos has been enabled for certain mission critical systems, or if you're
Yeah.
protecting
For sure.
the blanket
For sure.
statement was, if you're protecting the national security, or if you're part of the core
Yeah.
infrastructure, you can have
Yeah.
access, right?
Yeah.
But that is not stopping the overarching problem, which is, we think we know exactly what's going on, and we're trying to apply things that have not been tested, proven, validated, governed correctly for the sake of innovation. Or is it through fear? Is, we have to do this. Well, if we don't have this, somebody else is. Like, we're still in like Cold War era kind of thinking. Well, if we don't do it, the Ruskies are going to do it,
Oh,
by
yeah.
golly.
It's an
It's the
arms
same
race.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. How do I get to the
Because you don't
moon
want to talk
first
about the
just to show
progress
you
that,
I can? Yeah.
and because you don't want to look at the overall statistics. And again, if you want to put it in that parallel of who we are frenemies with, look at China's power infrastructure. Look at what China's doing with compute. Look at what like, if you don't do that, because then it'll get really scary. Um,
And embracing alternate or other energy sources. They're embracing that. They probably pioneer. I mean, it's funny because I never really think of China like innovating, but they
Right.
definitely pioneer in like institute or whatever. They industrialize technologies, right? So like EV and all those sort of things. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think we talked about it on a previous episode, but there was a massive electronic vehicle expo in Shanghai, and Tesla didn't even show up because
no,
their technology is embarrassing compared to what was
yeah,
available at the
yeah,
Chinese companies. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Is that a
yeah,
bubble thing?
yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
is that, living in the US, you don't hear
They're
about it because
cheaper, they're more efficient, they're self-driving, like all the things. They did it. They did it. And you can argue they can because their economy and the way that it's sure, but they did it.
yep.
They take a
Yeah.
thing and they can grow on it. So yeah.
Yep.
I'm afraid they're gonna
So
do that. I don't even mean to like change to this, but I'm afraid they're gonna do that on quantum. And we'll see. We'll see. I know there are a bunch of bills that were passed, so we're safe now. But
are we?
no, that was a sarcastic quote.
Oh, okay. Sarcasm again. West Coast, East Coast thing. I don't have a translator. Um, so let's talk about that. Let's
That's my
talk about the
southern.
regulation.
That's my southern
I know
disposition.
you, your sweet Southern charm out in out in the wonderful, wonderful fields of San Diego with all your crops.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Actually, I
um,
grew up in Palm Springs, and the Imperial Valley is really close. A lot of crops there.
yeah, like
Different.
dirt and
Yeah,
avocados
yeah. A
and
lot of dirt, and they just flood it with water from other states, and boom, you're good to go. So
nailed
sun
it.
all year round.
There we go. Thanks, Governor. Um, so let's
Sorry.
talk about the AI and quantum regulation that was passed recently. Basically, just saying, hey, we've established a standard for things like post quantum cryptography that rolled out recently, which really just
Mm,
said agencies have to identify you need to have a plan in place because
yep.
PQC is mandatory in like I don't know 3.5 years, but let's make sure we have a plan in place. And we had to be told that. Okay, that's fine. Um, but our
Isn't that
future of
weird
quantum
about that?
computing,
Maybe to like step back for a second. That's why you have
yeah,
to have European nations doing what they're doing because like somebody has to be told because some lawyer will argue. Well, no one ever told me. So anyway, continue.
but
That is the
I
human
mean, look,
condition.
listen, a quick little aside. I don't know, some folks may
Yeah.
have seen this clip or not, but your commander in chief, while the quantum bill was being announced, had a nice little quip of basically called the gentleman who was giving praise to his grandfather about his evolution of quantum computing and to the previous state to the current state. Basically said, "Hey, shut up, nerd. Nobody cares." Felt like a really good analogy of how things are going right
That's
now
fair.
culturally. And
God.
why were we actually here? He was actually talking about your grandfather, sir, but you know what?
Yeah.
Call him a nerd,
Yeah.
stuff him in a locker, why not?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Got
but
it.
the quantum
Done.
race is where AI is going to not just get interesting, but this is where it gets scary. And I talk about this a lot in the day gig. Post quantum cryptography, it's a very serious thing.
Yeah.
An AES 256
Oh yeah.
breaks, it's going to be a bad day for everybody. If you
Yeah.
don't know what that is, Google's your best friend. I mean, Ask Jeeves is
Yeah.
your best friend. Call back.
So
Um,
just to double click on it, AES 256 with
mhm.
quantum turns into 128, right?
Today,
Essentially, is what we
today,
think. Yeah,
mhm.
best guess. But you're right, that's today. So
That's
hey,
today,
you still got
and
pretty okay protection. We're back to pretty good protection, right? PGP.
they're pretty good.
But
Yeah, it's like the lap belts used to be your seat belt and like the old cars. Like you don't need anything
yeah,
across your chest. You're
it's going to
good,
keep
kid.
you in the car. It's going to fold you over and break your back,
And you
and you're
just
going to hit the
ooh,
dashboard. But
yeah,
yeah, and your mom's hand ain't going to help you. But
just
yeah,
right.
that's some 80s 90s reference. But that's a clear right. But like okay, let's compare it to the speed of innovation right now. Like how long is 128 going to stand? So anyway, all right, gotcha.
And quantum is only going to get better. It's going to get more
Yeah,
compact. Once it
yeah,
gets out of, it can only run in certain environments with certain characteristics. And we're already kind of going down this path already with energy innovations, with having cooling capabilities that are just miles different. We'll get to data centers in space in a minute because I might put my head through this wall if we get too far down that path on how it's not even probable or possible. But we have to get very serious about quantum computing because it is not a matter of if, but when. And I'm not
yeah,
a tinfoil hat guy, but it is mortifying when you have, one of the largest supercomputers on the planet, Frontier. If you don't know, go out. Oak Ridge National Labs is fascinating. That massive, massive thing. You can walk through and see the largest supercomputer on the planet. Um, can basically just get dunked on where it had a task where it took approximately 1 million years to complete. Quantum was like, I can do it after this coffee break, dude. Give me 5. Let me, get some air in
Yeah.
my pumps, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna just dunk on you, kid. Like it's terrifying.
It's
It's a
Robinson's
different game.
neighborhood.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Oh man,
this
that's a
this is
rough.
new territory, and it
Yeah.
is something
Yeah.
folks should educate
Yeah.
themselves on. If you don't know what quantum computing is, what post-quantum cryptography means, when cryptography breaks, it's going to be bad for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
Bitcoin breaks, anything in flight breaks, anything can be broken at any time.
The
Why we
financial
talk about all
institutions,
different
everything's
sort of financial
online.
institutions. They're
Yeah.
worried about data
Yeah.
being harvested now,
Yeah.
decrypted later. So this is going to be a very serious thing. It's only
Oh, that's an interesting point. And just to add to like what your research should be, like if I steal your data now, I just sit on it, I'll have the tools later to break that thing.
yeah,
It's
it's like
encrypted a
stealing a
certain way.
safe.
You have no control over how I
Exactly.
have this data. Yeah.
This is an
Yeah.
analogy that kind of flew out of my mouth the other day. This is what happens. I'm an idea man, right? I keep things going.
Yep.
Just flew out of
Yep.
my mouth. It's like, hey, it's like stealing a safe. I don't got the
Yeah.
I don't got the combination yet, but I'll get it eventually. So I'll just hold on to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get whatever I want.
Yeah. The
Right?
valuables are still in there. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I got the long con. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
long con.
That's,
Exactly.
yeah.
But Jane, when I think about what's really going to
Terrifying
save
world.
us from quantum computing,
Yeah.
and I really believe in my heart of hearts that it will, is data centers in space. Do like a
Oh,
reverb thing here. Space,
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 space. Do this
space.
in post. Space.
It's like pigs in space. I had a pigs in space lunchbox when I was a little boy. Um, Big Muppets fan. You can Google
I
that
love
right
it.
after being depressed about quantum computing. That'll bring you back. Data centers in space.
If you want to keep the algorithms honest, do pigs in space and then quantum computing. Keep them on their toes, man. They won't have you pegged down for anything.
That is how you beat them.
That's how you get
That's
them.
exactly right. Just keep them guessing.
All
Damn,
incognito mode, brother.
I
They
don't
ain't
know
getting
what this
me.
guy's into. And then when you go to YouTube and you get some random thing served to you, you'd be like, yeah, it worked.
This piggy and quantum computing. It's weird.
I'm doing this. I'm going to report back. But yeah, data centers in space, interesting concept pushed out by the way. We already mentioned SpaceX. Right? Are they the leaders in
Papa
data center
Elon.
in space? Papa Elon?
I mean, they wrote the white paper, right? And
Yeah.
it is definitely a white paper. I can confirm it is a white paper.
Okay. Fact check
a lot
that.
of assumptions, a lot of assumptions being made. Gigawatt capacity, 15 gigawatt capacity. I believe that the radiator alone required to cool that amount of energy would be about the size of Munich, Germany.
All right. So the radiator is Munich. Got it.
And
Look
on the
that up, too, for
obviously
all
on the
the
other
other-
side, and the amount
Yeah.
of panels we would need to absorb, and assuming there's never any solar flares or any sort of radiation, like we can't use
I was going to
convection.
say you got to
we
have
can't-
energy for this.
There's
Yeah.
only, again, you're a physics major, right? So
Yeah.
what are the 3 ways you can transfer energy?
What are the 3 ways I can transfer
You get
energy?
3 ways. So you have convection, right?
Oh, yeah.
Convection, conduction, and radiation.
Yeah.
Radiation is the only way, and it's the worst way to do it, right? Because there's nothing in space. It's not, oh, space is cold. There's nothing there. It's a vacuum. It's not cold air.
You can do convection, but anyway, I get your point. Yeah.
I just
There
feel
is
like
not.
I'm not going to name
It's not
names. But I feel like
cold.
it's not. There's nothing. It's nothingness.
There's just
it's not.
there's no way to transfer.
Yeah, but I saw aliens and Sigourney Weaver punch this thing out and it froze. That's because there was an absence of matter. So, well, you can't really say,
That's
"Oh,
the thing
just let
too.
the
If you
cold
just
air
float in
to cool it."
space, you actually wouldn't freeze because there is no transfer. Yeah, no, it's very true.
Exactly.
This
It's
is all
just a
movie
sad
magic stuff.
nothingness.
Yeah. I can't take the
There you
heat,
go.
is what Greg's trying to say. That's coming out of this data center that's running or whatever. Electrons, there's still electrons. They're running across circuits and whatever. I can't take that heat and quickly transfer it out. So,
And the worst way,
just can't.
the worst way you
Yeah.
could try and transfer power is to radiation. And what are we going to do with all that? We'll just, so if we're absorbing, right, sunlight,
Yeah.
solar rays,
Solar rays,
solar power. So if I'm facing the sun at all times, which way are my radiators facing? Oh, it's the Earth and the ionosphere. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just kicking the ray.
And oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys have good internet speeds with your Starlink. I mean, United has a fantastic in-flight Wi-Fi with Starlink. Shout out to Starlink.
It does. I streamed a whole MLB. I watched the Padres play while I was taking a flight to LA once. But anyway, yeah,
I
that's
heard there was a
amazing.
guy watching the fight in the octagon of the White House with Starlink as well, and he got like some extra
I
bonus feed about that.
I
But that's
heard I
neither
I
here
heard
nor
that
there.
rumor too. I heard that
Yeah,
rumor too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to that
Shout out
guy
to
in the middle
Union
seat.
409. Yeah.
But
457,
that being
whatever it
said,
was.
is again, who am I to go against Papa Musk? I am me, just little man. But there's a whole field of what I like to call physicists who said this is not sustainable, possible, or even realistic without, guess what? Wait for it, Zane. Trillions of dollars of investment. And to quote Mark Cuban, I'm not going to say Mark Cuban's the epitome of all things, but you know what? He could be quoted on, is OpenAI a company or a product? I feel like if I took an OpenAI to Shark Tank, he'd probably say, I'm out.
Yeah.
Um, Knowing what he knew then about the company. But they get over $1 trillion for AI data centers. And I'll use this, they're going to burn that shit, right?
Yeah.
His words verbatim, they're going to burn. There's no way
I
to make
watched
that
that.
money back. So
Yeah.
let's apply
Yeah.
that to data centers in
Yeah.
space. We
Yeah.
invest trillions and trillions of dollars,
Yeah. You
and
gotta
it's going to
launch
be the
it up there.
government.
You gotta build it. You gotta support it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it
can
will be the
send.
government. I don't want to get, I don't know if this is political, but let's just go back to Elon
Yeah.
Musk's early companies.
Mm-hmm.
The government propped them up. Tesla's not Tesla without government money.
No.
Yeah. SpaceX is not SpaceX without
Say
government money.
Subsidies?
Yeah.
No. Say
Subsidies.
it ain't so, Zane.
Yeah. That's welfare's a big thing in this country.
Rethink
I'm
my
just gonna
life.
put it out there. But no, I'm just saying, yeah, it takes that investment because it takes an organization that has the means, that believes in the benefit of this progress to do it, right? And it ain't you and I. Yeah.
No, it is not. And, you know,
It's
I
like a
don't want to
political
say
statement.
that
It's just real. Yeah.
data centers in space was a ketamine-induced sort of fascination that somebody came up with and told his people to write a white paper on it. But it might be, because at no point does it make logical sense. It sounds neat. Like if I was a 13-year-old kid, like, man, it would be cool to have data centers in space and I could fly my rocket to it. Do you realize the complexity? And I'm saying this not to you personally, but the complexity just to repair the International Space Station, which is a lot smaller than the city of Munich, Germany.
Yeah, it is.
Billions of dollars to maintain.
Yeah.
So it's you know, we talked about data centers and co-located data centers, and there's going to be one right down from me, because the Lego factory right over there, and I got a data center over here. But that being said, we're holding it together. Just to go into one of those data centers and say, hey, GPU's gone bad, power supply's gone bad. What happens? Somebody has to go to the data center and, you know, replace it.
You get a
Is someone just going to live in space with
you get a 4-hour response?
I don't think we're getting I don't think there's a part depot. What do you have? I've got a parts depot in Jupiter. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's fine. No. We'll get them the new power supply.
That's why we're going to the moon, Greg. There's a lot of rare earth minerals on the moon. I don't know how they're there, but we're building the components there. That's what we're doing. You missed that part of the white paper.
Okay. So we're going to go a week further than the data centers to get the parts. I don't think we're going to meet our SLAs. I don't think we're going to meet our SLA.
Damn it. All right. Bad idea.
So what does this also mean? So think about that. So now you're just going to have to assume, hey, this amount is going to die and I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
That goes against the exact capabilities of modern infrastructure, right? You want to have resiliency, you want to have availability. And you can do everything you want with app resiliency, but
no, the only way you can say it right is like you would have to do, I mean, I'm not saying hyperscalers do this, but it's almost that model. It's like, I'm going to build a rack, whatever that looks like in space. And every month I'm going to launch so many and we're going to replace them. And these other racks are going to get injected into space or however the heck we're going to do it. That's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let alone the power and the transfer of heat and all the things. But if I get over
the
that,
actual
just
thing to make it a reality and not science fiction.
Just supporting the part. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was cool when John Blue.
And then we're not even talking about physics in general about getting data to and fro, but that's a whole different story. Yeah.
We're just going to beam it all day.
Yeah.
Just going to beam it.
And you can do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but it's all AI superclusters all talking to each other, man. They don't need to beam stuff down. Then what's the point? I'll tell you what, Bezos and Musk, you guys write the first checks. I'll be right there, right behind you, man. I'll be there to support your ideal and show me the science. You don't owe me anything. I used to
always hear that about Musk in the beginning, right? It was his own money he put up for SpaceX. It was his own money at risk. Now, I don't know if 100% of that's true. Like, it was his own money, maybe, but he did risk it all, I guess. So yeah,
100%.
do that again. Do that again.
Yeah, dude.
Show us.
I'd love to see a solar
Yeah,
panel the size of Munich. That'd be amazing. You could
we're
have
gonna
like a
need one of
soccer
those.
field on it. They could play the World Cup on it. It'd be great. Little communist kickball action.
Yeah, they
Good
can
time.
sell ads. That's all they do,
Yeah.
man. And you can sell
It
advertisement on
just
it.
doesn't make sense, man.
Hmm.
To bring it back full circle, it doesn't bring a lot of strength
No.
and comfort of fear of is AI a bubble or not. Because it seems like a lot of hype, a lot of conjecture that is feeding into a system that could ultimately implode. But
So,
until the levee breaks, I guess we're just going to go for it, baby.
so the real answer is like, how do you make AI more efficient, right? So it uses less resources. I mean, that's always been the answer, but that is
Yep.
where we have to go.
But do we want? But so again, and we go back to the again. I think you alluded to this. I'll say the term, but you alluded to it. The oligarchy complex. We don't want you doing frontier models and doing things offline. No. That doesn't work that way. I need you to feed the machine so that Bezos can buy another 5 million-yard wad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I got to make this thing valuable by saying it's valuable and then locking you into the valuable thing.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
we didn't
coming
even
off
get
a
into
little,
like
little weird,
GLM,
but I'm
right?
just
GLM is the whole offline model that, we maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode, but
What's really weird is we've talked about all these topics and I've not got a single conspiracy theory. Do we think that is the moon the conspiracy theory? Is that the parts depot? Is it what is the Zane conspiracy theory of the week? Is it the parts? I felt like the moon was you were kind of tiptoeing there.
yeah,
Like that leads to
it's
the moon
parts
landing
depot.
mistake. Was like Zane, how are they going to build parts?
You
Because
want
they
me to say
never
we're
went to the moon
finally going to
anyways.
land on the moon? Is
We'll
that what you want
finally
me to
get to the
say?
moon. Yeah. Now that Stanley Kubrick's not with us anymore, we can finally have a real.
So that's it. We're going to put the parts depot in a studio in Hollywood that's landing on the moon to make you think that we're delivering it to the space center. Or to the space data center, whatever we're calling these.
Boom goes the dynamite right there. Solving the world's problems
Stanley
one episode
Kubrick
at a time.
couldn't have wrote it better, but
no.
Wow,
Where do we go from here, man?
Quite a bit around. We've gone quite a bit around. I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing we always say, right? Like, I think you and I, big believers in what AI potentially could do for us, and we live it every day. What are the ramifications for us? Who are these billionaires in charge of it? We try to monetize it. What does that mean? What does value mean?
From a utopian perspective,
answers. Yeah.
From a utopian perspective, we want to think it's going to modify and enhance the human experience, right? Modify is like, I could use these superclusters to understand the human genome to maybe, prevent disease or enhance overall capabilities or maybe enhance the earth and the damage done to it. Or I can have some really cool cat videos where they come in playing a ukulele and it's really funny.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to use AI for, because that's at our core, what I've seen more AI usage out of than actually doing more productive things from a consumer perspective.
We want to see evidence of the AI immediately. We don't want to see it as a benefit. Over time. I don't know.
And maybe just one day they can prove that the earth is not flat for some people out there. Maybe AI can prove it.
I mean, can AI take one photo and not stitch it together for me so I know that the world is round?
Or is that to become, bro, see, AI made it, so it's not real. You can play this like this. These people are crazy. They can play this game with you.
We're going to do the Matrix thing. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just doing all the conspiracy theories of this episode. I love it. I'll admit this on if I've never done this before on a podcast. I don't like, that's a bad term. I'm fascinated by the flat earth theory, conspiracy theory. And I like conspiracy theory because I like to see logic break down. It's just my jam. I like to see what's the thought around it? What's the seed? Like, how did this come to it? Like, I've watched all the things. I've watched the QAnon stuff. Stuff's wacky. The flat earth it amazes me because it's so bad. It's like watching bad TV.
It really is. It really is. And the conviction and passion is of a level of zealotry that is unparalleled. It's unparalleled. So, bro, have you ever sat on a beach? Of course I've sat on a beach.
Yeah.
Okay, how can I still see the ship when it's all the way out there? But can you see it forever?
Yeah.
But it got too far away. What do you mean it got too far away?
Yeah, then the explanations for it are like crazy. I'm like, all right, now you've just stretched reality. So anyway, that's my favorite conspiracy theory from
It's pretty good.
I don't know how those people could be so zealots. Like, just be so into it, like,
It's
and just keep
passion.
defending it. Yeah.
And eventually, if you get to a point where you actually get to logic and rationale, you kind of see the light go out of their eyes a little bit and like, oh man, did
Yeah.
I just challenge
Yeah.
their very existence? And
I, I would challenge them, like, take that energy and put it into everything we just talked about. And maybe you could solve some of this stuff. The
this is
amazing things
true.
you could do. The
Or
amazing
you
things you could
could
do.
get some more Marlboro Marbles and buy some more Milwaukee's Best. Either way, you're going to live your best life. You
It's
know?
better spend energy. Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to. I have not talked to Claude about flat Earth yet. So Claude and I are gonna do that. I don't know if it's gonna change our relationship. So I might
Make
rethink
sure you
it.
do that in incognito mode, bro. New
Should I
chat.
do it at work? Yeah, that's true. That's an.
That's
I'm gonna go in the chat. We have some agencies inside of it. I'm gonna go to the CI one and put in flat Earth and see what
see what
it
comes
has on
back.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might get terminated on the spot. And just be forewarned. Just
Just feed that into every agent.
it's HR violation.
That's how I
Gets
test it,
automatic
guys.
kickback. Yeah, good.
If
False
you
positive.
respond,
Am I right?
if you
Yeah.
respond to my flat Earth theory, this agent is not worthy.
Got him.
It's my stress test. Anyway, all right. I'm
So
taking it
let's
off the
land this
rails.
plane, Zane. I
Yeah,
think three things. Number one, there's a lot of possible good coming down the pike from AI innovations. There's a
I
lot
think so.
of perceived bad could be for economic impacts from a global perspective. I think the
There's some
EU
hype on the
has
valuation of it. Yeah, for
there's
sure.
some hype,
Yeah,
and buy the dips, bro, as they say. Again, we're not financial advisors. Buy the
no,
dips, bro.
I don't think the hype is all of AI. I guess is kind of what we're
It's not.
saying, but there are pockets. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
And most importantly, don't let anything we say here make you think, oh, these guys hate innovation. They're curmudgeony,
Yeah,
shaking fists at cloud sort of things. No, we're actually being pragmatists because again, we're looking at it from the human approach and not just from the cool sizzle things. Because look, we're nerds, man. We're nerds. We
yeah,
love what we do. We're very passionate about technology. We still dabble in these things. Are we
for
part of the
sure.
problem? I don't know. Are we part of the
Yeah,
solution?
maybe. That's probably
Also,
what we're doing here.
don't
Can we
know.
justify? Are we the problem? That's probably all we're doing here, Greg.
I
Just trying
mean,
to
we're
make
not
sure that we're
taking this
still
whole
Yeah.
podcast and transcribing it out in old English. It's going to be on a digital platform and shared out and possibly fed into an algorithm somewhere, right? Of course we are, right? But we're
Yeah,
not here.
yeah.
I'm not Neo. We're not going to fight the Matrix, right? But what we can do is say, look, here's some clear, obvious information. And I hate this phrase so much, but it's true. Do your own research and
Oh
actually do your own research and don't just
no,
copy
but for
someone
real,
else's.
not. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
don't just get
yeah,
into someone's chat. Well, Chat GPT agreed with me, bro. So I'm like, okay. All right.
yeah,
If you talk long
yeah,
enough, you
yeah,
can convince ChatGPT that the
yeah.
Earth is flat and say, you know what? Actually, I do see your point of view. It could be flat. It
I
can
kind of
happen.
want to. I
LLMs
kind of
aren't
want to
supposed
take
to
it to that.
understand knowledge.
I still want to take it to that edge, but I don't because it'll change my relationship with Claude forever. But yep,
Yeah, don't do it.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
go to Perplexity or something like that. Like go to your grandma's
Which,
LLM.
by the way, we're landing this plane, and I'm pulling back another bit. Like that's an interesting point. I just read an article about. So Anthropic uses some like constitutional LLM or whatever they call it. So
Mhm.
anyway, it's been said. It hasn't happened to me, but in the middle of chats, long chats, it'll tell people to go to bed. So it has this sense of like well-being for a human. Like, hey, you should
Yeah.
stop. What I did notice the other day, I did some website stuff, is it said, hey, is this a natural place to pause, Zane? And I was like, oh, it's telling me to go touch grass. So I felt a little
I can
positivity
appreciate
there.
that.
Yeah.
I can
It's doing
appreciate
it
that.
in an awkward way,
Yeah.
but they are trying to build this in. And again, that's that human element maybe trying to get through. And that's exactly why we're doing this, right?
Man,
Is trying to find that border. Yep.
thanks, Zane. Maybe it's not about the technology. Maybe it's about the friends we made along the way.
It definitely is. It's the journey.
Well, anyways, on that
With
bombshell,
Yeah.
two things we can promise you next time. Number one, episode 5, and number 2, the results of a man in his 40s drinking a Bang energy drink at
I was going to say,
9:45 at night. So
Greg and I are going to record the next 3 podcasts this evening.
because I am wired for sound and we're just getting going.
Or he's going to go knock down one of the Lego factory at the data center. I don't know what he's going to do, but
Yeah.
if that
All right,
happens,
people.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.
I'm not going to get fired yet. All right.
Yeah. What do you think?
Maybe
Do you think
that's
we
your intro right
overstepped?
there. Okay. I think I may have said a ketamine induced